This is a CBS News Special Report. I'm Norah O'Donnell in Rome, and there you see it. Smoke from the Sistine Chapel, black. Once again, that means the 133 cardinals inside have not elected a new pope. And Tony, everybody's waiting for this morning.
We've been watching it all morning. The seagulls are on the roof. They're watching it as well. This is the second time smoke has appeared since the conclave started yesterday. We were on air for that. Starting today, the cardinals will vote 2 times this morning and then 2 additional times if needed in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's early here. It's about, 11:52. It's almost lunchtime, so that means they're likely going to break for a lunch. Let's bring in our distinguished guest with us, Monsignor Anthony Figueredo, Delia Gallagher, both CBS News Papal and Vatican contributors, and John Allen, the editor of Crux, a news site specializing in the Catholic Church. And Monsignor, no vote, no pope this morning, I should say. There's been votes, but no pope.
Non habemus papa. It's certainly a surprise because this would be the 3rd vote. And the fact that it's come out so early, perhaps they've sped things up. We should also remember it now becomes critical for Pope Francis. It was at this lunchtime that the cardinals really began to rally behind him. So there's going to be an interesting few hours coming up.
Well, that's fascinating. And thank you for correcting. This is the 3rd vote, not the 2nd. So the 2 morning votes would be burned at the same time, producing the smoke we're seeing now on the screen.
That's what we were told. Yeah. So it's quite incredible that 266 votes have been cast in the space of 2 hours.
This morning, since they gathered at about 9:15, 9:30 local time. Delia Gallagher.
It certainly suggests in the first place that they've figured out the method and got it going, because last night, for example, we were waiting for 3 hours just for the 1 vote, whereas now we've had 2 votes in the space of 3 hours. And secondly, it suggests that there is some tug of war going on between 2 candidates, possibly more. Sometimes on the first vote, they say, you can put in whoever you really want to vote for, even if it's not the group idea. So, it suggests to me that they are really kind of trying to figure it out between maybe 2 or 3, right. And anything is possible from now on.
So now, based on the recent history, we've had 3 ballots overall, 3 votes overall. We are really into the period where we could have a result, perhaps in the afternoon. I know the Romans are rooting for a primetime pope, as they might. There was huge viewership here in 2013. Now, this lunch, John, there's going to be discussion, obviously. How spirited and how long do they break for lunch?
Well, look, this is Italy. Every meal is important, but you can probably argue this is the most important lunch these cardinals are going to have, because, as Father Tony was saying, this is the moment in which we've seen the cards in the first 3 rounds. We kind of know who has a fairly significant packet of votes, who doesn't. And now we're going to figure out over this lunch, are we going to be able to get across that 2/3 threshold, that packet of 89 votes you need to be elected pope? Is that going to happen quickly, maybe as early as this afternoon, or is it going to take longer? In other words, this is the moment when things start to get awfully real.
Oh, it is so fascinating and exciting. Let's go now to our Seth Doan, because he is in St. Peter's Square, where the crowd has been gathering all morning long. Seth?
That's right, Nora. A bit of disappointment here, expectation for sure. People were gathering more and more, a sense, a kind of tension of when will we see it. Of course, we're all waiting to learn at the same time. You can still see a bit of that smoke coming. The crowd dissipated a bit. Now people know that they have a bit of time until the next vote, but there is a kind of an excitement. Oh, there's smoke, and then, there was a kind of collective sigh of a little bit of disappointment, but certainly still excitement. We've been speaking with people here throughout the morning. One couple who came specifically when they learned the conclave was going to happen this week. They bought tickets to come from America, and I said, will you do anything else while you're here? And they said, no, we're here just to do this. And we've been watching them for hours just waiting, and they say they won't go to the Colosseum, they won't do anything else until they hear that there is a pope.
Wow, it's incredible, Seth. When you look at that smoke, it is not only a signal, but it represents the incineration of the work of the morning, the paper ballots, the handwritten selection from 133 different cardinals, and the Latin on top, "I elect as Supreme Pontiff." When you think about the contents, there's something special as well. We have Maurice Dubois with us as well. Maurice?
Good morning, guys. We are here with the Rogers family. They are from Boise, Idaho. I've got Natalie, James, and Taylor. You guys just happened to be in the square.
We did.
What'd you think? You got to see some smoke this morning.
I thought it was pretty amazing, honestly. Like,
Right?
yeah, wow.
You've seen it on TV, now you see it in person.
I know, exactly.
What about you two? What was your thought as you saw the smoke come up?
Just the crowd and like everybody's like on it, whether it's going to be
the
white or black.
anticipation.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you guys just happened to be here in Rome, vacation?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You're not Catholic?
Nope.
You're Christian, but happen to be just kind of in the area.
That's right.
So
yep.
how about that for a bonus vacation?
Oh, you can't ask for more.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Did you see the crowd, the vibe, the feeling?
I think it's great. It's neat to see so many people come here together for something so special.
All right. Pretty amazing atmosphere. We thank you guys so much for your observations. So yeah, as we send it back to you guys, you're sitting here and all of a sudden there's a buzz in the crowd. And that's the moment you're waiting for, but not quite like this. It's just lunchtime, I guess, for the Cardinals. And they'll tee it up again, and we'll see what happens this afternoon.
Yeah, Maurice, it's a nice break for everybody. As we rejoin the conversation here on the set, I think what's so interesting from the crowd, first of all, you had 45,000 people here last night, even though no one expected white smoke. You've got crowds here again this morning, and there is a bit of a moan of disappointment at first, just for a second, when they see the black smoke, but then cheers for the process itself, and I'm really struck by that.
It is something beautiful to live this moment. It shows the importance of the papacy and the great unexpectedness of this process. Again, just going back to 2013, Pope Francis, then Cardinal Bergoglio, went back for lunch, and he was on one table, and he said there was a group of Italians on another table with one seat left on that table, and they called him over and they put him through the questions, his doctrinal positions, and he didn't fully understand it. But then when he was going up to his room, he said, one of the cardinals asked him, "Is it true you only have one lung?" And he explained, "No, I've had an operation." But then he said, "I knew it was becoming dangerous. The election is coming."
And that insight's so incredible, and a reminder of just how important this upcoming lunch is, where there will be a lot of conversations about who may be the next Bishop of Rome, the next Pope. Thank you all once again. Just to remind you, black smoke from the Sistine Chapel for the second time, signaling to the world no Pope has been elected. 133 voting cardinals will resume this afternoon after that lunch. If only we could be there and listen to what was going on.
I really wish I could get in there. We can't, though. We will resume our work as well. Our coverage will continue on CBS News 24/7, your local news, and Nora and I will see you at 7 a.m. Eastern on CBS Mornings. This has been a CBS News Special Report alongside Norah O'Donnell. I'm Tony Dokoupil in Rome.